Welcome to the People Connect podcast. Your network is your net worth. Are you ready to take your life to the next level? Be prepared to leap out of your comfort zone and connect with the who's who of what you want to do. Stop, drop, and roll as we start, market, and grow the CEO of you and your host, Nichelle Womack. She will help you engage, reinvent, motivate, and reactivate your plans for success.
Everybody, how you doing? Welcome. I hope I can see the scrolling. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend with me. My name is Nichelle Womack, and I am your life transition and business strategist. I teach the dreamers, the aspiring, and the new business owners how to transition in your life with information, inspiration, and motivation for you to transition from your 9-to-5 into entrepreneurship. We're just going to have to flip this like this. Hopefully I'm not crooked. How's it going, everybody? Welcome. Thank you so much for coming in here. Greatly appreciate each and every one of you for taking time out of your day. I help you transition from your 9-to-5 into entrepreneurship, as I mentioned, by providing you with information to help you start, market, or grow your business. And then I provide you with inspiration, because when you are a new business owner, if you're thinking about going into business, or if you've been in business a while, you need that click that you can be around that can inspire you to, first of all, stay in business, and number 2, to keep up in business, and number 3, just to be there. Somebody as a support system to lay your head on, that you can talk to about your struggles, about your growth, and everything that's going on. And then you need that motivation. Because sometimes it's hard being a business owner, especially if you are out in the field by yourself, or if you are a stay-at-home, work-at-home mom or dad, and you're at home most of the time by yourself and you don't get that opportunity to get outside. It's great to have that motivation to be able to be pushed forward. So that's what I do. I do that. And then I also help those people that are in a situation in life. Perhaps maybe you are struggling with something. Perhaps maybe you are confused about which direction or path to take in your life and in your business. What I do is provide you again with that inspiration, give you some information of sustainability, and then I provide that motivation to help you get to that next level, to transition through that A and that B, and perhaps getting into that C. And so that's what I do on a regular daily basis in every business that I do, is some form of advice giving and things of that nature. I am a graduate with an MBA. I have a BA, and both of them are in business with emphasis in management and leadership. And I'm currently pursuing a PhD in human behavior. So I have the business aspect, and then I have the psychology aspect, 30 plus hours in mental health as well. So sometimes when you're talking about business, people always ask me, how did you combine the two? And to be honest with you, it was very, very easy, because business has a lot to do with psychology. Psychology is the study of the mind. Business, you're dealing with relationships, people. And so when you're studying the mind of people that buy from you, that you are in business with, there's a lot to deal with that aspect. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm absolutely fabulous. How are you today? Thanks for taking time out of your day. So that is what I do on a regular basis, as I mentioned, and you are joining in to Nichelle Womack, and I am with the People Connect podcast. If you are wanting to get some inspiration, motivation, and some information, you can go download the podcast at the People Connect podcast on iTunes. I am fabulous. How are you today? Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being here. Where are you guys from? Tell me where you're from, and then I'll give you a shout out. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you being here, spending time on your Wisdom Wednesday evening or day, morning, wherever you are. Welcome. Thank you so much. So, in talking with you today, if you'd like to learn more about me and what I do, you can go to toexcelwithnichelle.com. I'm also available for daily information, inspiration, and motivation on Instagram at Nichelle Womack and on Twitter at Nichelle Womack and on Facebook at The Life Transition Strategist. So anywhere you go, you can catch up with me, leave me a message, and let me know what's going on, and I would love to talk with you. You are from Colombia, South America. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was on vacation this summer and I met several people from Colombia. And, you know, I like to meet people from different areas to find out what's going on where you are. And the first thing they asked me was about what's going on in America right now. And they were wonderful people. I love the culture that I got the opportunity to spend with them. We were on a cruise and they sat at our table for dinner. And they were very nice, and I really enjoyed learning some different aspects about the Colombian life. Espanol? ¿Tú hablas español? Yes, we went to, well, actually, we were on a 10-day cruise, and some of the ports that we stopped by were the Dominican Republic. We went to Cozumel, Jamaica, and we were in the Cayman Islands, all of that. I mean, so it was a wonderful cruise, and they were on there with us, and the couple was from Colombia, South America, and it was great. And they spoke Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that was because we were speaking, and I know a little Spanish, and so I was able to communicate with them just a little bit, muy poco, como está usted, and we had great conversation, and they taught me some things too. In fact, you know, normally when I travel, I try to get to know people. Welcome always to Colombia. You know, I have I don't want to call it a bucket list, but I have a to-do list. And on my to-do list, my goal is to get more out of the country. I've been out of the country several times, but I still like to expand my horizons. Like today, I met someone from Australia, and they were just giving me all the caveats of Australia, and that is on my list as well. You try to understand English. Well, you write it very well. English is one of the hardest languages to learn. I teach ESL, English as a second language. So when I'm teaching my students, you learn English? Good. Keep learning, because, you know, we want to learn how to speak in different native languages and tongues, because a lot of people we come in contact with speak other languages. And that's the great thing about the world, about America. It's a melting pot. You meet different people with different languages, and you get to know them and learn more about them. I love meeting people. I love culture, because each and every one of us has something different to share in our culture, that some of us, we need to pick up some different culture and standards and incorporate it into our lives. And then just the lifestyle, the different foods. Oh my God, I love to eat. So culture is one thing that I pride myself on trying to learn more about every day. Different people. I just love that. See you and learn. Awesome. Yes. So thank you so much for being here. I greatly appreciate you. And to each and every one of you, to all my replay viewers, thank you so much for coming in and checking me out. If you're new to Periscope, let me just kind of inform you as to how it goes. If you like what you're hearing, you know, I love that you guys want to look at us, but you know, you tap that screen, and that's a note of love to say, first of all, you appreciate us sharing the information, and you are listening and you hear. I've had to incorporate a microphone into my information, because when I sometimes upload the broadcast to my podcast, I can't hear it. And then my listeners are emailing me saying they can't hear me. So I had to reconstruct my program and how I do it. So hopefully you can hear me clear. I'm assuming you can, because I saw some beautiful green hearts go up there. And I greatly appreciate you sharing that love. And if you like to share this information, you can do that on Facebook. You can do it. It's already on Twitter. You can do it on Facebook. You can do it with your group of friends that you currently have. You just swipe to the left and right for iOS, which is Apple, and I think swipe up for Android. And so I'm an Android user. Yes, Facebook, house search. Yeah, you go into, I don't know what type of phone you have, but you can go on there and it will tell you how to share the broadcast. You just hit share broadcast and you'll be able to do it. So as I mentioned, I think it's Android swipe up, or it's either iOS swipe up and then iOS to the left to the right. One of them, whatever phone you do, try swiping up or swiping down. So then you'll be able to share it. I know mine is swipe up and I have an Android, so I'm assuming that's what it is. Yeah. So if you find it valuable, go ahead and share. And also, if you find it valuable, your hearts are greatly appreciated because I love sharing information with you. So hopefully you will love giving me some hearts for the information that I'm sharing with you. I think that's about all the information as far as that is concerned prior to me getting into the information that I came on here purposely to share with you today. If you are in business, this information is for you. If you are thinking about going into business, this information is for you. If you are just kind of curious, wanting to know what it takes to be in business and how to price your services, this is for you as well. Because, as I've been a business owner for over 20 years, I find it very important that you utilize methods to price your expertise. Now, when I first started in business, I used to be very intimidated by telling people what my prices were. And the reason why I was intimidated was because I didn't think anybody was going to pay them. And then I quickly, after 3 years of being in business and underpricing myself, I found out that I needed to increase my prices and needed to tell people what my prices were with authority and no fear in it. Because people will use you. They literally will use you to their advantage and get as much as they can out of you until you have no more to give. And then I've also made the mistake in my consulting business. I've had a consulting company for about 5 to 7 years now. And in my consulting business, I would always meet with clients. And, when we sit down, whether it's face to face or whether it's over Skype and we're meeting, I used to give them a breakdown where I would tell them to come to me. See you later. Thank you so much for being in here and welcome. Thank you so much for coming in here and hearing the message. I greatly appreciate you. Come back and see me sometime. So, in reference to that, I used to be kind of, ashamed to tell them that. And, I would get on Skype or I would meet people in person and then I would share with them, let them tell me, because I always do a consultation. It's free, 15 minutes. And then I would let them tell me what they were seeking or needing. And then I would find myself regurgitating everything that I can do for them. And they would get the information, then they would run. Some I would see back, some I wouldn't. And so in 20 years of being in business, this happened within the first 5 years of me being in my own business. And I saw myself underpricing. And like I said, when I started the next business, I started seeing myself underpricing my services. And as long as you continue to have fear and lack of confidence in telling people what your services are priced at, then you're going to be on the low end of growth economically, financially in your business. And so it's very key to know how to price your expertise. And today I'm going to give you 5 tips that you can utilize to see where you are if you are a coach, an author, if you are a business owner for a brick and mortar, if you have services online. You're going to get a little bit more structure so that you can take the confidence, move that fear out of the way, and you can price your services for the expertise that you are delivering. And so now, and just as an example, the other day I had a client, she sent me on my website, toexcelwithmichelle.com. She went there and she sent me, I have a little chat box. You could send me a message. So she started telling me something about that she was having a difficult time clarifying her why, because that was one of the scopes I did. And I sent her the message to her because it went out on my email. And she sent it to me and she was like, I really need some help in identifying really what it is I'm supposed to do in life. I know I'm supposed to do something, but I just don't know what. And so my conversation with her to convert her to become a client, I said, well, you tell me some things, I need to get to know you a little bit better, because it's best before you give somebody a price, and I'll go through that as we go along. You kind of get to know what you're working with, because when you get to know what you're working with, then you can adjust accordingly if you need to, or if you want to. You're the business owner. It's up to you. And so after I went through that structure, she started telling me she didn't have any money and, she was limited on funds. And so, you as a business owner, sometimes you get a little sad, in your heart, because you want to help everybody. I know that's always my mindset, because I'm a Christian first. I'm a child of God first. And being that I am those two things, a child of God, number one, uno, I want to help everybody. But I also know that God gives you common sense. And in that common sense, you must know that you cannot be taken advantage of. And so I said, okay, well, I'll do this for that. I don't mind bartering with people if I'm going to get something in return too. I'm giving you value, so I expect value back. And so we came to a happy medium and we were able to barter something, but I was just kind of offended because people will do that to you. They will offend you by asking you, what is your price worth? And then you're giving it to them. And then next thing you know, they don't want to pay for it. And so I want to share with you today, you got to be confident in who you are, what you offer, and what your stuff, your product, your services are worth. And so let's get started. When we're talking about how to price our expertise, these are very key aspects that you need to think of, consider, and put into action. Number one, you must recognize what is your experience, your time, and your credentials. What are they worth? What are they worth? And it's very important that when you're doing a pricing structure that you can identify that. You have to identify that. Not the customer, but you have to identify that. And when you are able to identify that, it's easier to feel comfortable, to let that fear go, so that you can automatically say what your prices are and not be afraid. So when you know what your experience is, as I mentioned, I've been in business over 20 years. So for me to tell you, give you some newbie kind of stuff, that's not going to work because I've been in business 20 years. I have failed. I have succeeded and did it again. So I know what it takes to run and operate a successful business. I know what it takes to fail in business. And so you're not coming to someone that's just starting, been in business a year or two. Not to say that they don't have the great experience, because a lot of times you can utilize what you learned on your job in life. And that's experience. So if you would wait till I finish, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have so I can get through the material, I would greatly appreciate that. And so what is your experience? That's number one that you need to look at. How long have you been doing what you're doing? And I might answer your question, through my conversation here, if you just hold on. And so what is your experience? How long have you been doing it? What did it take for you to learn how to do that? Because everybody has learned how to do something from somewhere, some way. And then you need to know your time. How long is it going to take you to do what people are asking you to do? Product or service, it doesn't matter. And then the credentials that you have behind that. As I mentioned, not only do I have 20 years of experience, but that's backed up with education as well. An MBA, a BA, I have certifications, licenses, and 30 plus hours, and then working on a PhD. So all of that experience, credentials, and my time, the investment that I've set in people classrooms, and you can put this in accordance with your life. That is valuable. That is valuable. And it's worth whatever you price it at. And you got to get comfortable, be fearless, and be an authoritative person in stating what your price is. Now, it's up to you if you decide to negotiate, because everything to me is negotiable. Everything is. However, some things are not, and you have that decision whether or not you want to negotiate. I consider myself to be an excellent negotiator, especially when we're talking about buying a house, because I'm going to negotiate as much as I possibly can for my client in their best interest. And so you got to look at those aspects. And so that's key. What value base are you bringing to the table? And see, that's where the experience, the credentials, and the time come in. How is it value based for the client that you are serving? And you got to think, will they pay? Can they pay? And this is when I go back to my message. Everybody is not your customer. And this is when you learn if your targeting is right or wrong, because everybody is not your customer. Thank you for that, love. And so when you think like that, will they pay? Can they pay? Then you can base your experience, your time, and your credentials on how much you're going to charge. All right. So it's very key that you understand that. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. Will they pay? Because everybody can't pay. They want to pay. Like I shared with you about that other customer I had. She started telling me over time that she didn't have the money. And I understand that, because at some stages in your life, you just don't have the money for the things that you need. I'm not going to say want, because we buy what we want. We can be broke as a skunk, broke as a joke, as they say. And then we'll go buy something we want, like that Louis purse. We'll go get some extra hair to add in our head, or buy that outfit to wear to this one special event or concert. People buy what they want. they necessarily don't buy what they need. Sometimes they skate over what they need. So if you know you need these things and you're not willing to pay the price to get them, then don't try to bamboozle the person that's offering it so you can get what you want. But then you go spend $200 on a purse when the value that somebody else can give you, like your education, your knowledge, and the information they're giving you is priced the same. Don't do people like that. You don't want nobody doing you like that. So don't do other people like that. Number 2. When pricing your expertise, when pricing your expertise, you need to understand what you are offering. You need to understand what you are offering. Are you offering a product, a service, a commodity of some sort? What are you offering? And then you need to know to who. Again, that goes back to that targeting. What type of customer is it? What type of customer are you offering your service or your product to? Okay. And so the type of clients, you need to be very specific in that, the type of clients, because that will determine your pricing strategy. Pricing, so many different strategies that you can use. So understand that. And once you understand that, it gives you more clarity in understanding how to market your services and to who. Okay. The next one, number 3, you literally want to realize what you have spent to gain the expertise on what you are offering as a business, as a product, or as a service. What have you spent? Now, when I was an undergraduate, I had a scholarship. Graduate school, I had to get a loan. Next graduate school, PhD, all the certificates and all that stuff, I had to pay for out of my pocket and get a loan. I've spent over $100,000 in education, over $100,000. So I know what I've invested in me. I know what I've invested in me. The knowledge that I've gained, the skills that I've gained, I got the school loans to prove it. Hello, how are you? And the paper behind the school loans to prove it. So I know what I've invested in me. And my question to customers, to you, what have you invested in you? You know, when you are seeking to offer something to people, think about the investment, because that investment wasn't cheap. Time is an investment. Money is an investment. Effort is an investment. And so you got to look at all that when you're pricing so that you can make certain that you're not getting, again, bamboozled or scammed and people trying to get over on you for what you've already invested. Otherwise, you'll go bankrupt very soon. Hey, how you doing, Adriano? Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And so then you're looking at a cost plus pricing strategy. And when you're looking at a cost plus pricing strategy, this has a lot to do with markup and breakdown, because you're going to offer sales, specials. You know, that's what typical business people do. They offer an incentive for people to try their services or their products. And so that's when markup, balance, breakdown of costs comes in handy, and understanding the cycle of pricing. Pricing is a structure. Just like business is a structure. When you're looking at pricing, you got to look at when the product first comes out, it's in high demand, or it should be. And so you got to seek that out when you're looking at your pricing too, the demand for your product or your service. Hey, from Brazil, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And so you're looking at that pricing structure. What is it worth? What is the demand for it? If there's a high demand for it, then obviously, you know, you're going to be in between or maybe a little higher. Depends on how you package it and what you're offering. And so you have to think of those things in a cost plus structure. If you have to give a markup on it, or if you offer it on sale, or you're going to just be breaking even. Because a lot of times when you're breaking even, you're not making any money. You're giving the time for what it was invested in back to the person or to yourself. Like, say, for instance, if you paid $300 for something and then you're given a discount of $300, you're really literally making zero. So you got to look at the markup and the breakdown as to what you invested in it and how much you can get on return. Now, I know I have a couple of clients that are restaurateurs, And one of the restaurant, they have a special on Fridays, happy hour. And on the happy hour, they give like their appetizers, they're like $10, and they give $5 off on their appetizers and drinks. You know, specific drinks are some are cheaper than others, like beer. They do that real cheap. But then I realized it was the cheap beer that they were offering, not the expensive beer. Then the appetizers, if they get it in bulk, this is what he shared with me, that's when they give a little greater discount. If it's something specific like calamari, then they don't offer that for a significant discount because they're not going to make their money or their investment back. And so you have to look at that. If you are able to offer discounts, breakdowns of the margin on your product, you got to add that into your pricing structure and the strategy so you do not lose money. So keep that in mind. The cost plus pricing strategy. There's numerous pricing strategies that you can utilize in offering services and products and business, information, all of that. There's different pricing strategies and you need to be aware of them. If you're going into business, you need to be aware of them because you need to find which one works best for your type of business. Everyone is not going to work right for your business, depending on what type of business you have. And that's where you need to hire a coach, someone that can help you, or go take a class with a coach, someone that can help you with what you have to offer. Because what we do is we help you break it down. You tell us what you invested in it and we tell you what that'll be worth. And that has a lot to do with research, what other people are charging. You know, now if you're not a name brand, because typically if you're a star, you know, I'm a star, but if you're one, you're a star. If you're somebody perhaps maybe that's on the mainstream, an entertainer or something, sometimes they have a little bit more privilege. Yes, business is very complicated. After 20 years, I'm still learning. After 20 years, I'm still learning about business, and I have 2 degrees in business. So yes, it's very complicated. That's why, you know, as I mentioned earlier, when people try to shortchange you for your knowledge and your information, I used to get burned by that all the time when I first started my business, but now I know my worth. I know my worth, so I stopped giving people discounts. And when you learn your worth, you stop giving people discounts. Now, some things, if it's not a lot of time invested in it, then you can offer it for less. But if you spend time, work, and effort on it, energy, time is money. You need to get paid what you're worth, and you got to stop apologizing for your price. You got to stop apologizing. Because like I said, I used to do that. And then I found out that I had shorted myself probably about $50,000 because everybody else was charging something different. But I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be nice and say, well, I understand you don't have the money. I know, because I was there one time. I didn't have the money either. So I'll give you 50% off. I'll give you half off. But my competitor down the street, they weren't giving half off. They were offering full price. You know, so when people know that they can get up under your skin, they start to give you them sob stories. And I know I'm not the only one that's been there. They give you them sob stories. But you got to dust your shoulders off, and you got to be strong and firm in offering your price. This is my price. This is what it is, and I'm not changing it. And it's up to you if you want to do that. Don't allow people to make you change your prices. This is your business, okay? Run it as such. You're the boss. You are the CEO of you. And so when people start giving discounts and telling you what you should charge, oh, you too expensive. Well, go down the street, go somewhere else, because I truly believe in essence, you're going to get what you pay for. You're going to get it, what you pay for. It may not be that best quality. It may be a slight edge less than what you can get if you spend the money and stop being cheap. Like I said, most people don't have no problem buying extra stuff that they want, but they are skimpy on what they need. And everybody needs education in business, because there are a lot of things that you can get caught up in, mistakes that can cost you money. Business ain't free. It's costly. And if you do not make the right decisions, if you don't have the right structure around you and understand that structure, business is nothing but strategy. And if that strategy is misspoken, if it's not complete, if it's misunderstood, you can miss out and lose a lot of money. And so keep that in mind. Number 3, you need to realize what you've spent on your investment, and then you need to recognize where you're going to give those discounts if you choose to. Number 4, what is your time worth? What did it take you to do what you know how to do? How long did it take? When I got my BA, I didn't just, I went to old school school. I sat in the classroom for 4 years. Actually, I graduated in 3 years from undergrad. So I was in a hurry to get out. I don't know why, but I was in a hurry to get out. Got out and the real world hit me. I had to go get a job. Okay. And so don't rush to get out of college. If you're in college, if you have kids that are in college, tell them to enjoy their college life. That's certainly what I tell my children right now. And so you want to make certain that time. How long did it take you? It took me 3.5 years to get my college degree, my bachelor's degree. It took me 2 years to get my MBA. It took me 2 years. It took me about 6 to 7 months to get one license, my real estate license. It took me about 5 to 6 months to get my insurance license. It's taken me right about 7 years to get my PhD. Right about 7 years. Life got in the way. Sometimes life happens. I had to stop a couple of times. I was tired. I'm tired of looking at books. Even right now, tired of looking at books. But I know that I have a goal that I have to achieve. And I got to keep looking at them books to get that goal. So I'm going to keep doing what I have to do until I can do what I want to do. That's the thing you do. You do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. I tell my children that all the time. And that is a life lesson that I've learned, not only being in business, but being in life. You do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. And so how long did it take you? So if you average all that stuff up, that's probably about 12 years of information. And then I consistently go get continuing education, 12, maybe 20 years. And then the 20 years of experience. So you add all of that up. You add all of that up. And when you add all of that up, if somebody try to negate with you or try to give you a discount, you tell them, look, this is what you're getting. This is what you're getting. I'm not coming to you, as I mentioned, as a new person off the block, just fresh out of school, not to diminish those people or whatnot, but I'm coming to you with real life experience. And so you can go over here, you can get that, you can get this, or you can get that. And typically, if you are going to be strategic in your business model, your pricing strategy, you want to come somewhere in between. Not too high, because depending on your customer, again, depending on the type of customer you have, because if you have those high end customers, then you don't need to negate, because they ain't going to have no problem paying you. And that's when, some of the customers that I've been coming in contact with, some of them don't mind paying you. They're like, look, how much is it? What do you need to do? I also do, not resume writing, but I go through resumes for people that are in corporate, because I do interviewing for my small business. I interview for nursing homes, and they want me to get people in, nurses, staff, and human resources. That's kind of what I do. So I'm always going through resumes. And I find that when I help people construct their resume, make sure that they have the appropriate language on there. They're not doing anything out of order. It's not too wordy or it's misspelled words, things of that nature. I always find that people have those issues, and I share with them, this is why you didn't get the job. This is why you didn't get the job. I can't speak of clarity, how important it is to be clear in your expectations and what you're doing. And so when you share that with people, well, you can go do it yourself, or I'll charge you this amount and this is what you're going to get, because I know what they're looking for. I'm the one doing the hiring. I know what they're looking for, and I can help you do this. But it ain't gonna come. It's gonna come with a cost. Everything in life comes with a cost. Either you're prepared to pay it or you're not. And you need to be realistic with yourself instead of shysting the business person into being confining into your small world or whatnot. You need to be fair with them, and you need to find out what is your time worth. Time is money. Time is valuable. It is a commodity that you will never, ever, ever, ever get back. And so if you're listening to me right now, your time is worthy. So I'm hoping to share with you this information, because I want you to be able to get what you're worth and stop giving people discounts on your knowledge, your experience. Just to recap, my name is Nichelle Womack, and I'm a life transition and business strategist. I teach the dreamers, the aspiring, and the new business owners how to transition in their life. Transition in your life, changing your life. Sometimes it's hard to transition from your 9-to-5 into entrepreneurship. Or I help you become a business owner and get a side hustle. Some people love their job. They just need a little extra income. So I teach you how to start a business, how to grow a business and build it. And if you decide later on you want to leave that job because you got a little nest egg over here of income that you can call a real job at that point, I help you do that as well. I also help people that are transitioning in their life. If you're stuck, You need to get help. I was stuck once in my life and realized that I needed to get help. And when you are stuck and you get that revelation of change in your life, you're more focused on where you need to be in life. And so I help people by providing information about what's going on in their life. And then I give them inspiration, because no matter what stage you are in your life, your business, or your relationship, you need to be inspired, because life can put you down sometime and you need that inspiration. Then I motivate you. I push you. I do whatever. You might not like me in the process. You need help getting into real estate? Okay, well, go to my website, toexcelwithnichelle.com, and send me a message. Let me know what you need help with. I do offer 15-minute consultations, and I'll be more than happy to help you with that. And so, I provide that motivation to help push you, because some people need that push. We need an accountability partner. I know I have one, because I fall short too. I'm not, exempt for that. Coaches fall short. Strategists. I'm a strategist. We fall short just like you do. But the thing is, the difference between you and I is that some people may have that extra effort that they're able to push themselves independently. Everybody can't do that. I was that person at one time where I needed someone to consistently push me, because I found an excuse all the time. So that goes back again to, what are you worth? Stop giving discounts to people when you know you've been there, you know how to get out of it and push your way through. Everybody cannot do that. Everybody can't do that. What is your worth? Stop giving people discounts. Number 5, this is my last one for you that I have for you today, and learning how to price your expertise, because each and every one of us is an expert in something. You may know how to design websites. My website is toexcelwithnichelle.com. And there's a little chat box down there. You can send me a message. It goes straight to my email, and it sends me to my phone. And then I'm able to speak with you there. Hey, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in, sharing that love. Number 5, this one right here is so key, because this is another strategy with your pricing that you need to be mindful of, so that you can be prepared when you're offering your services. You need to know, what type of payment system are you going to be on? Are you going to be on an hourly payment system for your services, your business, or your product? Or are you going to be on a package pricing service? Now, there's a big difference. Because hourly, of course, you get paid hourly. And the package pricing kind of is like a salaried position. You get certain amount of income for what you do, and it's broken down into packages. And I like packaging, because it works better in my businesses of real estate, insurance. Insurance I have no control over, because that's regulated per se. So we have to give them what is offered through the Federation of Insurance. We have to give them to it that way. So I can't necessarily offer that in a package, but I do have level playing plans that whatever your budget is, I can kind of put you in that budget to help you so that you can get the life insurance. But for real estate, I have packages for my clients. And you tell me what you can afford. And then based upon what you tell me what you can afford, you tell me what you're seeking. That's the first thing I ask you. What are you seeking? Because that's important to decide how you're going to price your product or service. And then I tell them, based upon what you gave me, what you can afford, this is what you get. Now, sometimes people come back, I need that more, because I don't have time to market my house myself. I don't have time to do open houses. I don't have time to do this and that. Okay, well, we need to go up to the next tier. We got a tier 1, we got a tier 2, and we have a tier 3. And then we have a tier 4 for those that just say, hey, you just do everything. I don't want no involvement in it. You do what you need to do, because you are the expert. And so when you offer people options, you can get a little buy-in much better when you give them options. When you don't give them options, you're kind of stuck. And then you go back to the hourly format. And so you need to keep that in mind. Are you going to do hourly, or are you going to do package pricing? When you're doing hourly, sometimes I'll do hourly for different types of services. If I'm just doing a focus, I have a focus session that I do with my clients, and typically sometimes that lasts about an hour. And pretty much the focus session is just to help you get focused. You may be stuck, as I mentioned. You may need focus trying to put things in perspective of what you need to do to get from point A to point B. And so I offer a focus session, and that is an hour-based service there. But then when you start telling me you need this, you need that, then I have a package tier that I go into that is offered because you get this, you get that, you get everything wrapped into one. And so when you're thinking about your business, think about what type of structure, payment system are you going to offer your clients. You can do both, as I do, or you can do one. But when you're given the package pricing structure, you can get more not only for your time and your money. It's a lot easier for people to understand and choose from which one they want versus hourly. But then some people can't afford the package pricing. So you got to have a midpoint for each person. And then that's where I put the hourly pricing in. And so when you recognize, again, what type of payment system you're going to be on, then you can structure your business. And that typically is called tiered pricing. Tiered pricing, when you're giving them different structures, different payment plans, you can go up, go down for different services that you offer. And so bottom line is, you want to be able to charge, again, what you're worth. You want a system that allows you to make an income. You know, I promise you, people are not going to tell you if you're on a job system, if you're an employee, they're not going to go into a job and work for free. Nobody is going to work their job, their job for free. And so they shouldn't expect you to work your job, your business for free. And like I said, once I got out of being afraid to tell people, this is what I've spent as an investment, my time, my money into what I'm offering you, that fear went away. Fear, false evidence of things appearing real. And you gotta, as a business owner, get confident in yourself. And I help people do that as well. Because when you release that, not only do you become more profitable, your business tends to grow, and you know your worth. You know your worth. Any questions? Any questions? That is my message for you today. And that is my message. Any questions? Anybody have any questions about anything pertaining to business that I can answer for you? Any questions? Closed mouths don't get fed. I'm providing free information for you here that I typically would charge for, but I'm providing this information for you for free, in depth, in detail. The great thing about live streaming and sharing information, so you can go find this information somewhere else, but when you're live streaming, you have an opportunity to connect with the people that have done it. Most of us have done it. And you can ask them questions. You can get your problems perhaps maybe solved. And so that's the great thing about this information platform and why I love it so much. And so if you have no questions, that's no problem, no problem. You can always catch me if you're afraid. I sometimes have people that say, didn't want to ask you this online because they were shy. It's okay. It's okay. You can go to my website at toexcelwithnichelle.com and send me a message, or you can connect with me on Twitter and Instagram at Nichelle Womack. I'm also available on Facebook at The Life Transition Strategist. Well, as I mentioned, I provided this information to you. You can always go to my podcast at the People Connect podcast, and you can download our episodes on iTunes, and you can learn all about the inspiration that we continue to provide. You can learn about the motivation and the information that we give to help people to aspire to be great at being you. My name is Nichelle Womack. As I mentioned several times throughout this conversation, I'm a life transition and business strategist helping you to achieve your dreams, your desires, to get you from point A to point B, to help you learn how to profit from your passion. All of us are passionate about something. As you can see, my passion is teaching because I do this on a daily basis. I teach every day, and my students are paying to come into my class because I'm providing them that information, and they leave with more information that they came with. They leave inspired, motivated to go out there and start businesses, change their lives, look at life different, and things of that nature. That's the purpose of learning. That's why I've been an educator for so long. I've been teaching for probably about 20 some years, been teaching in high school, in college, and all of that type of levels. I just went to your website and sent you a message. Cool. I'll get there. I can't promise you I'll get there tonight, but I will definitely get there in the morning because I am leaving my office right now. Leaving right now. I have to go home and feed the bambinos, but I will definitely get your message first thing in the morning and I'll respond to you. So thank you so much for sending that message, and I look forward to connecting with you very soon. And so if you don't have any further questions or concerns that I can address for you, again, like I said, you can reach me at toexcelwithnichelle, at Nichelle Womack on Instagram and on Facebook and Twitter. All right. Well, thanks again for your time. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you for spending time with me on this Wisdom Wednesday and me providing you with some wisdom nuggets to help you start charging your worth, how to charge for your expertise, because whatever you have done in life, you have some expertise and you deserve to be charged, or you deserve to charge what you worth and what you earned and earn from your learning. All righty. So thank you. Until next time, this is Nisha Womack signing off as your life transition and business strategist. May everything you touch turn to gold. Be blessed and highly favored in everything you do. I'll talk with you later. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time live, between 9 and 9:15 Central Standard Time live. I greatly appreciate the love. Talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.